Deshaan Lore, Part 1. A Pocket Guide to Mournhold. Welcome, traveller. Welcome to Mournhold, the city of light and magic. This pocket guide was prepared with great care for you in the year Second Era 481, and as such you can rest assured that it is current and up-to-date enough to provide for your every need. As the capital of Morrowind, Mournhold is the greatest city in Tamriel. Travellers bring prayers and commerce to our streets, and we are ecstatic to receive you. Please understand that with so many pilgrims gathering every day, you may occasionally encounter outlanders who seem lost, overwhelmed, or even frustrated by the bustle and layout of the city. To accommodate all visitors, the city registrars have compiled a few useful instructions on the places and activities you may enjoy, as well as mandates from the tribunal you must adhere to. Observe, learn, and enjoy your stay. Reverence. Dwemer from the farthest reaches of Morrowind and beyond arrive each day to pray and show reverence for the living gods of the tribunal. If you are one of our Dwemer brothers or sisters, you already know the proper ways to show obeisance to the three tribunes, Almalexia, Vivek, and Sothasil. Sacred shrines throughout the city, including the tribunal temple, are ready to receive your donations. If you are a non-Dwemer visiting our city, no doubt by observing our citizens you will pick up the proper modes of obeisance. The safest course of action remains the simplest. Do as the Dwemer do. Say what the Dwemer say, and be mindful of where you walk. Remember, do not panic when you see heretics submitting to the justice of the tribunal. The registrar would like to assure you that we are well practiced in dealing with heretics. Your safety remains one of our greatest concerns. The Great Bazaar. Mournhold stands as the mercantile heart of Morrowind. We welcome your business. If this is your first visit to our great city, feel free to ask the City Watch for the most direct and safest route to one of our merchant districts. The Great Bazaar, the largest and most heavily patrolled of our markets, should serve as a destination spot during your stay. Make sure to see the seasonal event at one of our outdoor theatres, catch a wandering passion play in the town square, or listen to a public choir in one of our well-groomed parks. And know that every purchase you make grants you a little piece of Mournhold to take with you when you depart. Please, however, be sure to make your purchases only from registered and licensed merchants. This is the only way to ensure that proper fees and excises are collected. Plaza Bindrizi Darom. Troubled souls can find peace wandering through the statuary and gardens of the Brindisi Darom. Just as trees and flowers reach towards the sky to seek the nourishment of the sun, the citizens of Mournhold raise their arms in prayer to the wisdom of the tribunal. May you find solace here. The Tribunal Palace. Many travellers cannot wait to visit the Tribunal Palace, where the living gods of Morrowind reside. Please understand that while we welcome your zealous enthusiasm, the Ordinators may take issue with displays of excessive zeal. As always, everything in moderation. If your enthusiasm gets the better of you, tribunal shrines located throughout the city are available to connect donations to atone for your transgressions. Whatever you seek, you can find it in Mournhold. Our priests, registrars, and city guards will make sure of that. Enjoy your stay. Dark Ruins by Cirillo the Deranged. They call me mad and have branded me insane. I accept the title they have given me and wear it proudly as a badge of honor. For the name I now carry shows that I was willing to enter the dark places over and over again to brave the ruins of madness and chaos to bring knowledge to the world. The three protected me from the things I have discovered and keep my mind clear long enough to share this knowledge with the world. I found my first Daedric rune when I was a very young man. It was a hidden shrine from the past dedicated to the anticipations of the tribunal. I was rounding up a number of Kwama scribs that had wandered away from the herd. I followed the scribs into a hidden canyon when I heard the pathetic cry of a lost scrib. Emerging from a crack in the canyon wall, I squeezed through the narrow gap to find that it opened into a large depression in the rock. But no simple cave had I wandered into. No, this space was full of carved stone that at once filled me with both wonder and deep fear. For the oppressive blocks set of stone were decorated with patterns of webbing and spider motifs, and the statue at the center of the space depicted none other than the anticipation of Vivek, the web spinner Mafala. Words carved into the base of the statue burned into my memory, never to be forgotten. Lust is love. Lies are truth, death is life. They frightened me, but also excited. The experience set me on a path that led me to madness and knowledge, though where one ends and the other begins, I cannot tell. I returned to my family's Kwama mine, escorting the scribs back to the herd. Then I packed a bag, said goodbye to my mother, and started my search for the hidden shrines and dark places where the Daedric ruins wait to be discovered. Not every ruined shrine waits beneath the ground. Some hide in open places that are far from inhabited lands. These might be overgrown with vegetation or lost within the folds of rolling hills and craggy canyons. I have even visited a shrine that was hidden beneath the sea. Those shrines, located in underground caves and complexes, tend to appear more ominous and oppressive than those happened upon in the great outdoors. But that could just be the influence of the ever-present darkness and the awareness of the crushing walls of stone. Some of these ancient shrines stand alone in the darkness, but others serve as the focal points of many great complexes, many of which are guarded by elaborate traps or vicious monsters, or both. I have visited more than a dozen of these Daedric ruins, and few were not as abandoned and unused as the temple would have you believe. There are still those among us who honor and even worship the Daedric princes, and I discovered more than a few fresh offerings and sacrifices in these dark places. But the true secret, the knowledge that has earned me my new name, for that I must ask you to keep an open mind and a firm resolve, because of what I am about to reveal may sound unbelievable. It may even sound like the beginning of a campfire story, one intended to frighten before bedtime, but I assure you, this is no story. What did I find at the first shrine to the web spinner that I wandered into by luck or accident? What drove me from my parents' home in search of other Daedric ruins? It was the voice. Beautiful and seductive, it whispered to me, told me secrets that I should never have heard. The whispers enumerated from the ancient cracked statue. They echoed from the cavern walls. They reverberated through my mind, building in volume and intensity until they drowned but my own thoughts and memories. They frightened me, these whispers, but they also excited me, and I had to hear more. But the web spinner was done with me. She imparted her words of wisdom and dark secrets and fell silent. The place was once more abandoned, desolate. If I wanted to hear more, and I so very much wanted to hear more, I would have to find another shrine. And so my life's work was set. Before me, I had to find other secret places, other hidden ruins. I had to hear what the other Daedra had to say, not because I worshipped them, not because I had fallen under some dark spell. No, I needed to learn more so that I could share it with the world. It was imperative. It was my duty. But as I write these words, I find that I can't reveal what the whispers told me. My hand won't put the whispers to paper. It refuses, no matter how hard I try. It seems I have failed in my mission. All I can do is tell you that there are secrets to learn, but it appears that if you want to learn them, you'll have to make the trip yourself. Visit the dark ruins, listen to the whispers. Perhaps you'll fare better than I, and the whispers won't drive you mad. Dwemer Dungeons. What I Know by Kirith Vanos, Dungeon Delver Extraordinaire. We know almost nothing about them, except that they left behind the most interesting and exciting ruins. You know who I'm talking about. That's right. The dwarves, or the Dwemer, for the scholars among you who might be reading this. My brother Raynor insists I call them Dwemer, but I like the name dwarves better. It rolls off the tongue, in my opinion. Now, dungeon delving is most serious work, no matter how much fun it might be, and can be pretty dangerous besides. Just finding a dwarven ruin is no small accomplishment, but getting into one and back out again in one piece can be next to impossible. But before I get to that, let's talk about the ruins themselves. Dwarves created a vast network of underground complexes and cities. Why they preferred to build beneath rock and soil, I couldn't say, but that's where they built them. So that's where you have to go if you want to visit a dwarven ruin. Once you do find one, you'll know it. Dwarven architecture has a distinctive look and feel, from the surface entryways to the subterranean structures. They utilized natural openings in the rock wherever possible, then tending to decorate and carve existing rock and natural pillars. They only built new structures when it was absolutely necessary, usually to support other structures or to install fortifications. In addition to carving and shaping the natural rock, dwarves used stone as their primary building material. Some metal appears within the ruins, primary brass, used as an accents and in mechanical constructions. And here's the really exciting part. Dwarves loved their gadgets, and their ruins are full of them. I don't just mean traps, though some of the most devious were designed and built by the long-gone dwarves. I mean heating and cooling systems made up of steam pistons and great gears. Glowing lights that shine from the walls, giant wheels that turn as water cascades over them, multifaceted gems that fire beams of light, and many other wonders too numerous to mention. It's eerie to walk through a dwarven ruin. It's supposed to be empty, deserted, but the lights continue to glow and the pipes continue to steam. It's like the place is waiting for someone to return, as though the dwarves just stepped out for a moment and haven't been gone for hundreds of years. Then there are the inhabitants of the ruins, for a dwarven complex isn't devoid of life as you might think. In fact, some of the ruins virtually teem with the stuff, but it isn't life as you or I know of it. It's mechanical life, constructs. They wander the chambers and corridors of these dungeons, performing tasks assigned to them in ages past, but no mistake, if a construct spots you, it will attack. With whirling blades and piston-powered swords, the dwarven constructs pose a significant threat to any would-be dungeon delver. Worse, the constructs know how to repair each other, so the ruins seem to contain an endless supply of these mechanical creatures. So to successfully enter and exit a dwarven ruin, you need to spot and disarm or otherwise bypass devious traps, avoid or defeat an army of increasingly more powerful wandering constructs, and figure out how to open strange locks that might or might not require something that looks like a key. It can be a bit maddening, but personally I find the challenge to be remarkably fun. Of course, everything I've written thus far has been theory and conjecture. My brother and I have yet to enter a dwarven ruin, and all of our practice has been within the mundane dungeons that dot the land. But I've read all the books. We finally acquired the funding we need to tackle a dwarven ruin known as Bethanuel, and I plan to write about that adventure in the very near future. In the meantime, let's all be careful out there. Remember that the dungeon isn't at all fun as games. Survival is a serious business, and we're in this line of work not only to thrive, but to survive. I hope you've been enjoying these lore readings, and if you have, please do consider subscribing to the channel. Also, come follow me over on twitch.tv/ICYIC, where I stream the Elder Scrolls Online 4 days a week. I'd love to see you there. Thanks for watching.